Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, 7:30 a.m. I am live and direct with you. And so many of you wonderful people are already here, ready to talk to me. I have my coffee as well. That first sip. I've been waiting. I've been waiting to take the first sip of coffee till I'm with you. So let's take a look at this. Let's have a sip of my coffee because it's much needed. I've been awake since 6, but here we are with my first sip of coffee. Mm. That is glorious. Let me say, I don't have my own monitors turned on, so I can't hear things very good, but that's okay. I'm the only one that we need to hear. How are you today? How are you today? So excited that you are all here with me today. So very excited. I had a wonderful day yesterday. But before we get into that, let's see what we've got as far as comments are concerned today with you fine people. Let me see here. Stacy is here. So I am very happy you're here, Stacy. Awake, coffee in hand, waiting to see what wisdom that I have to share. If you're here for wisdom, I think you're in the wrong place, but I do my best. All right. So I'm really waiting to see, let's see, waiting for the chickens to wake up and see that all 6 ladies are fine. But you come next after them. Okay. I was at I was in and near Cincinnati yesterday, the Ohio, at Jungle Gyms. And did you know that they have quail eggs? I did not purchase any because I had a 2-hour drive to get home, but they had quail eggs, they had duck eggs, they even had duck yolks, like some kind of and they had ostrich eggs, if you can believe that. My internet is not where I want. All right. There we go. Internet is being silly, but here we are. I switched over the internet connection for some reason. It likes to change itself. So, thank you for being here, Stacy. I appreciate you. Mr. Goodhan, I see that you are here as well. He says, I was so bummed yesterday. I was really looking forward to seeing your interview with Logan, but I was busy dealing with eBay customer service about a bike I ordered that was defective. No worries. I hope you got a chance to watch the replay. I feel that was a very heartfelt discussion that we had. He was very candid and opened up a good amount, and I'm very happy for that because as a fan of his for a long time, that is one of the reasons that I am a fan of his is for the fact that he is so open and honest and, kind of shoots from the hip. Woo! I muted that. You didn't hear me sneeze. That's okay. Jennifer Lucas, I am so glad you're here, dear. I'm glad you made it home safe. I cannot wait to hear all about your cruise and hanging out with the 2KK family. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about that. John says he jumped on the live but couldn't really be as present as I wanted to be. I will go back and watch the replay. Yeah, go back and watch the replay. I think it was a very nice conversation that he and I had, and I'm looking forward to see what everybody thinks about it. Jen Delaney. Good morning, dear. I'm so glad I got the chance to hang out with you yesterday and traverse the jungle that is Jungle Gyms. She's here today with a cup of new cherry amaretto coffee that she picked up yesterday. To borrow a phrase from our friend Radical Geek, it's delightful. Isn't it delightful? I can't remember where that's from. Isn't it delightful? I forget what that's from, but I know it's from something that I know it's pop culture related, but maybe one of you will let me know in the comments what it isn't it delightful? And obviously outside of Maitreya. So let's see. Danny is here. Danny, I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much. How are you, sir? I hope you're doing well. We're all wanting to know how Miss Lucas's cruise was. Was the ship nice? She'll be on it in October. Yesterday, I took a little drive for 2 hours and I met up with James and Emily from Ready Set Keto. I met up with Cindy and her husband, Brian. I met with Jen and her husband, Brian. So we were double Brian. So we were safe and full of Brian. And Robin and Callie were there as well. And it was a wonderful lunch we had at City Barbecue. Don't tell anybody, but I had some sauce with my sausage and my brisket, World Carnivore Month and all. I had some sauce. I had some Diet Pepsi. Oh, no. Um, what are you going to do? And then we went to Jungle Gyms and we had a good time trying to walk around that madhouse, trying to talk. And it's like you can turn the corner, then you've lost everybody that you're with, and you're just kind of looking at stuff. And yeah, that would have been cool if you were able to come out. I know you're in the area. Yeah, we'll have to next time we do something like that, we'll have to try to let everybody who's in the area know. It was kind of a impromptu type thing. Mm, I love coffee. Diane Bailey, good morning. I am really glad that you're here. It's a brisk 9 degrees here in Michigan. I don't know how cold it is here in Indiana, but it's not warm, and I'm thankful that I don't think I have to go. I don't have to go out today if I don't want to. I don't really want to, so I probably won't. Jen says, "Ship. There was a ship. I was having such an amazing time with the 2KK family that she barely noticed. You didn't notice you were on a big floating platform in the middle of nowhere? Sounds about right. Anyway, we had a good time. If you've not been to Jungle Gyms, it's a rather large international market that's also a grocery store that also has a lot of things that other stores may not have. They have extensive sections where you can get all kinds of sweeteners and stuff. And you just kind of have to really take the time and kind of peruse the aisles. There's a lot of stuff that you may not see at your local grocery stores. And it's kind of nice to go every once in a while, but it is almost always packed. So it is kind of overwhelming at times. So, yes. Cincinnati is 9, feels like -7. Ugh. I think it 'tis the season to be frigid. Evelyn, good morning, dear. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you with all those love hearts. They do mean the world to me, and I'm so glad that you're all here. I hope you are enjoying your coffee. If you drink coffee, whatever's in your cup, hold it high, and I'm glad you're here. Mm. It's -3 in Indy, not wind chill. Oh, I didn't know. I know it was 25 or whatever yesterday on the drive to and from Ohio. Um, and then on the way back, it was clear sailing there and back I hit until I got back to Indianapolis, and then like the snow was really kind of coming down. It wasn't really it didn't stick and it wasn't heavy, but it was definitely coming down. Yes. The coffee, the conversation, the camaraderie. If you didn't get a chance to watch yesterday's interview with Mr. Logan Delgado, Mr. Goody Beats himself. Please take a chance, or please take a little while. It's only an hour and 10 minutes. As I did have to cut it a little shorter than I would have liked to, just for the fact that I did have to get on the road and get to Ohio. Um, Sherry says that it's -12 in Leavenworth, Kansas. Mash the like button for the fine fellow. Who's the fine fellow? This guy? No. But yeah, I don't see that there's a reason to live in Kansas. And I know that, I mean, it's like we drove through Kansas before. It's cold. Well, it was cold then too. The funny thing is we were driving through Kansas on our way to Colorado, and we crossed that border into Colorado, and we decided to stop off and have some food. And we pull into the restaurant, and what's playing on the radio? Kansas. You can't escape Kansas. Oh, goodness gracious. It's cold everywhere. It's cold everywhere. Cold, cold, but we're warm. We're inside. We're doing good. We've got coffee. So yesterday, I got a couple of things. I got they have these sparkling ice caffeine drinks that I like, and the citrus flavor that it's hard to find here for some reason. They were on sale for $1.19, so I picked up 6 of those. I got Chandra a block of her cheese that she likes. It's not the most keto stuff in the world, but she's going to hold on to that until the end of World Carnivore Month. It is a Stilton. It's a mango ginger cheese, and it's like one of her favorite things in the whole world. So no clear sailing for us. We had 10 minutes of sun and wind that could pull me over at times. I love watching the Whitecaps. I was so impressed with those who took a 3-mile walk on board. Okay, so it wasn't like a nice sunny cruise. It was kind of cloudy, overcast, it sounds like. Not a lot of sun, but you were not in Indiana. Okay, where did you guys cruise to? I don't know, like a lot of those. I had no idea. I didn't get a chance to look into the cruise. Couldn't afford to go anyway. One of these days, hopefully. I'd love to go on that Alaska low carb cruise, but that's probably not going to happen either. And Jen Lucas, look at Jen Delaney was showing me the prices for the low carb for better health conference that we went to last year. Like the Friday night dinner is ridiculous. It's like $180 or something like that, or $130 just for the dinner, and it doesn't include a ticket to the next day. The next day tickets, I think, are $80. Yeah. So I don't know if they've priced us out of even being able to go. I will be having Amanda Decker on next month, and I imagine we'll dive into all the fun and everything that they will be having, whether or not I get a chance to go, or if I can even afford to go on that one. Last year it was like 50, $60 for the ticket, and we were able to get an Airbnb and we had a good time. This year it seems like it's a little more pricey. So I guess we'll have to see if we can make that work or not. I don't know. I'm unfortunately not as optimistic. So we'll see. Coco K or Coco Key in Nassau. That's cool. I will talk to her about it, see if there's a discount code available, see if I can get a Keto Simple discount code. Um, I'm sure I'm gonna have a Keto Simple discount code for Keto Palooza. I think anybody who was there last year has a discount code or something like that, she said. So as soon as those tickets go on sale, you'll hear it from me. I was going to set up this live, so as soon as this live was done, it would automatically transfer you over to their live today, but I wasn't able to see their live if they didn't have it set up or not, so I wasn't able to get that transferred. So when we're done, we'll just have to go over. We'll just have to manually go over. Forget that. I'll bring us a brisket for Friday night dinner. Yeah, I like. I would. My thing is as a creator, I do have the that kind of like I should go to that dinner and talk with people, this, that, and the other. But I don't know. I think they've priced me out of it. I'm not a creator that makes much money, so I think they've priced me out, unfortunately. But I had a really good time yesterday. The drive was nice. Um, it was kind of nice. Um, I kind of needed the alone time just to drive by myself to and from. Um, this week, a friend of mine lost his spouse. They had been together for quite a while, for about 14 years, and I went to the funeral for that on Thursday. And so those obviously that kind of stuff really kind of hits home, and um, it just kind of like that alone time was something that was really important to me. Just having that time to kind of decompress from that. Um, yeah, so um, it was nice being around friends and that sort of stuff as well. So the last so that we didn't go to that because I guess there was a Friday night thing last year, but it wasn't something. It was invite only. I don't think there were tickets for it. And then we had dinner the day of. They had like lunch for everybody, and they ran out of bacon, and they ran out of eggs, and they ran out of everything within like 10 to 15 people of going through the line because everybody just piling their plates. So we waited and waited and waited. It was supposed to be an hour-long lunch, but most people waited almost all of it just to get food. So it wasn't really as much mingling as you were supposed to because you're supposed to be a VIP and you had to be a VIP to remain in the dining room during lunch so that you could, talk with all the presenters and such who were there, but it didn't quite work out that way. So I'm pretty sure we'll all be able to swing the 95 a piece ticket for the main event on Saturday and a B&B, but not the dinner. Yeah, the dinner is just crazy. The dinner's crazy. And the ticket does include lunch on Saturday. Okay, okay. Hopefully they'll be better prepared this time with bacon, eggs, and all that fun stuff because last year they just were not, unfortunately. So, which even similar thing happened at KPL for those who were there. I imagine most of you um were autumn outlined how much bacon and such they needed to have on hand, and then the cook was like, "We won't need X number of pounds of bacon. That's crazy." You know, I mentioned it to them. We were talking about it yesterday, and I don't know. I don't know how into like going to a conference they are. If they were to go, they would probably just stay at the Airbnb. So I don't know. It'll definitely be something that we can talk and discuss with them again uh, before because I think it's in July or August. So there's obviously time to discuss that. Again, it's August, so there's plenty of time to discuss that. So yeah, they're not as much into the conferences and such like that because they've heard all the stuff before. But for me, I just like being involved and all that because I'm a nosy person. I'm nosy, if you get that. And I guess it'll depend on if Don and Mike come down again and drive their camper all that way. It was like forever, like a 9-hour drive for them. It was crazy. I mean, it's a 6-hour drive for me, but I was happy to make that drive. And I was able to, on the way home, stop and have lunch with Adam and kind of build that friendship and kind of make and kick that off, which was then, even solidified more with Keto Palooza, being able to get him a free ticket to that. So Um, so a little talk about this last week. The last week we had our granddaughter started school. She went Monday, Wednesday, and then didn't go Friday because she wasn't feeling all that great. Um, she's really liking it. It's nice that she's getting a chance to hang out with kids her own age and not just old people hanging out with us old fogies all the time. Um, but I want to take a minute here and I want to thank all of our subscribers, all of our members, all of the members that were gifted over the last week. Um, I really appreciate all of you. I'm going to go ahead and put you all on the bottom of the screen so you can see yourselves. I appreciate each and every one of you. I like to make sure that I show my appreciation to my members because it does mean the world to me. So I am going to be planning a members only stream sometime in the future. If you are all would be interested in that, if you wanted to come on and chat live on camera with me, we could probably do that as well. And I would want to know if you would want that chat to go out after the fact. Um, any members would want, if you come on and you join the member stream with the not only just in the chat, but maybe even being on camera with me as well. If you would then want that to be released at some point for everyone to enjoy. I guess it just depends on what all of you would want to do. I have not necessarily thought about that too hard, but definitely something to consider because uh, you know, it just depends on what you guys want. Um, I kind of feel like this is a member chat. Any chat I do is kind of a member chat. Um, so, you know, the theme of today is what's important, and friendship is what's important. Friendship, you, the community. I can never stress that enough. You helped me through a lot of stuff. Like I said yesterday, I was able to go and hang out with a good number of you. And that was something that I desperately needed. Just getting out of the house, getting for a drive, hanging out, walking around, going to get some food. To me, it never really matters where we go. We could go stand in a parking lot. I don't care. Um, Having food, having lunch, going to jungle gyms, that wouldn't even necessarily be something that I would even need. Just somewhere, just to talk and be, and hang out and shoot the breeze. Just like we do here, but in person. You know, James was asking, kind of what's halfway between us and him, and I'm like, I don't really think there's anything really between us and them. I know there's like a casino in Lawrenceburg. I don't know what kind of towns there are like halfway. I don't know. I'd have to kind of look at maps and see. Like if there's like if you could ask Google, like, what's the halfway point between Indianapolis and Cincinnati? Like, what would be a good meeting place? I don't even know. If there's a restaurant, get off of some weird exit where it's like, that kind of stuff. You guys are being quiet in the chat today. What's going on? You guys okay? You guys awake? They're doing okay. I've been talking to them about their videos because I've been worried about, you start not seeing videos, I start worrying about them a little bit. Hopefully they'll start kind of doing that a little bit. I think they put a short out yesterday. I didn't get a chance to see it. I mean, I saw that they did it. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but you know, Jen says I so needed yesterday. It's so easy for your brain to start telling you no one likes me when you're holed up at home. Like that's what's so like. I mean, there's like that there. So I'm in a couple different group chats and such, and I'm always kind of like, "Hey guys, how you doing? Hi, hello." I'm very needy in that, if you will, sometimes with that kind of stuff. So yes, I'm so happy to see everybody. It's just such a nice thing to see, and I'm very thankful for Cindy as well. I think she overslept. So when she gets here, we can just point and laugh like, ha ha. Um, and Danny's playing Skyrim. That sounds like fun. Well, I lie. I'm not. I'm just not a video game person. Like our kids always want to play video games. Like our son was always. They're all like our both of our boys are always into video games and they play them all the time. Like that's all they can talk about. And I'm like, come on, boys, live a little. Like our youngest is almost 20 years old and he just would rather play video games all the time. And I'm like, you got to do something better than that. I don't know. I mean, I know it's his life and what he wants to do, but Robin, I'm so glad I got to see you guys yesterday. She says, good morning, friends. Feeling so thankful and blessed this morning, 100%. Her and Callie came out and hung out with us yesterday. That was so much fun. That was wonderful to see their bright, smiley faces because that's what's important. You know, getting together, even for a few, even for like a few hours, just impromptu, just being able to do that is so important to me. Today, I'm looking forward to. Once this stream is over, I will jump over to the weather stream if they have one over on Watch Autumn Keto. I have some a YouTube video that I want to finish watching. I started watching it this morning. It's a gentleman who's building his own outdoor sauna. I'm never going to do that, but I want a sauna real bad. I want a sauna and I want an ice bath because I'm a crazy person. But the sauna sounds wonderful, but he's like spending like $30,000 on this sauna, building it all, but basically all by himself. Um, like $10,000 in just cedar, and I'm like, oh, it's so expensive. Ugh. I mean, I would love something like that. That'd be so nice, but just not practical. So, um, yeah. Danny says he's gotten addicted lately. Way too much time sitting here, but it's fun. Do not plan on getting out of my PJs today. I'm in my PJs, and I don't plan on doing much. I got some shows to watch. I got to watch this week's episode of Reacher. I've been really into that show. Um, on Amazon Prime. The guy they have playing Reacher is more Reacher than Tom Cruise was. I mean, Tom Cruise made a good movie, but this guy actually looks like he's 6'5" and 250 pounds or whatever. So, and I have tomorrow off from work, so today is like a second Saturday. Oh, that's gorgeous. Tomorrow, Chandra is picked up work, so she'll be at work. The girl doesn't have to go to school because it's Martin Luther King Day. So it'll just be my little girl and her and myself. We'll have a little girl and pa day. We'll probably sleep a bunch of the day away because she like that girl sleeps like a teenager. It's crazy. Jen, we understand. She's like, I'm sorry I missed that gathering. I could not. If I could superpower, it would be to be two places at once. I don't want to be more places than once, but I know you had. I was letting everybody know that you made it home safe yesterday. You were texting me that you made it home safe while we were out to lunch. So I'm glad that you were able to make it home safe. And you know, I would be upset. Me too. I want to watch Reacher and the new season of Traitors started. I don't know about the Traitors show, but it's a fun show on Peacock. I don't have Peacock. Um, I don't have Paramount Plus or there's just too many to have all at one time. There needs to be like, and I'm sure that they'll never do this, but like say like on a Fire Stick, like as we use Fire Sticks in the house, we could just like basically like have like a little switch on each of the streaming services. Like you want to flip off like three of them for a month and then flip three on for that month and watch everything and then flip over and change and then watch, then flip the other three back on or only pay for one a month and you can just basically have 12 different services once a month or like like so like in January it's Netflix and then in Hulu in February and that kind of thing. That would be so much fun. But in football, hopefully the games are better than yesterday. I haven't been paying much attention because the Colts are no longer in the playoffs because I guess our team doesn't know how to do timeouts or something like that. I haven't been paying much attention anyway. So planning ahead for February 3rd gathering because we couldn't do yesterday. Need to see my keto peeps. You guys are coming in for February? Oh, that'll be fun. That'll be so much fun. Yeah, that's a nice one because I only have to drive like 10 minutes down the road. So that's fine for me. So I'm just the only, I'm like I said, anywhere, anytime, I'm good to go. I'm just the only thing about like I'm just not a big fan of smoky bones. I don't think their food is worth the price. I don't think you get as much as you should for the price. But I will be there and I will be hanging out and I will have a good time. How do you get it? No, I just have a fire stick. I pay for everything. So we just buy I need a new fire stick for our bedroom because it's like a probably 5 years old now, and it's just so slow. And I know it's like slow compared to like, whatever, but like you'll click on something and you just wait and wait. And then it'll load and then it'll be, I don't know. And they like to switch off the Wi-Fi networks that I'm using and switch on to slower Wi-Fi networks. I don't know. Just what happened with today with the live stream. It switched on to one of the slower networks. So I don't know why it does that. I need to get rid of the slower network, but you know, what are you gonna do? But I have a regular Fire Stick. I don't have a modded one or a jailbroken one or anything like that. I just have a regular Fire Stick. You could usually get them for like $20, $25. You can get them just straight from Amazon. Hopefully, we're gonna get new phones soon because we've got these old notes, the old Note 9s from like 2018. I mean, these are like grandpa's phones. They're super slow. Like if I'm trying to make a comment on a YouTube video, I have to sit and wait for 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes. I'll click on the comment and I have to wait for my phone to catch up before I can even leave a comment on the video. Sometimes so if I put a video on, I click on it before the video's over. And depending on how long the video is, I might be able to comment before the video's over. So Shanders broke her screen. So we're waiting for the S24s to come out because we do keep our phones for a long time. So we'll keep them until we absolutely have to upgrade them. So might as well wait for the greatest, latest if we're going to do that. So, Aaron is here. Good morning, Aaron. Thank you for being here. Oh, all right. Rob. Um, my brain is not fully functioning today. Stacy says that her and Ken will be planning to be there on the 3rd as well. I'm excited. Weather provided. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%. Yeah, yesterday was kind of like we weren't sure. And then the weather was like, we're just going to be really cold and windy, but we'll be fine. I'm like, all right. Yeah. Uh, so, yeah, I'm probably going to snuggle up in bed after this and watch my shows. And I have to watch not Rocky. I have to watch Rambo 3 um, before Tuesday as well. Uh, and I still need to watch the new Dave Chappelle special. I haven't watched that yet. I'm just behind. So behind. That's okay. Gives me things to look forward to. There's 10 new Bluey episodes. If you're not familiar, if you don't have kids and you don't know what Bluey is, just put on Bluey. It's a good cartoon. I mean, it's very parenting centric. So, I mean, if you are a parent or were a parent, then it is one of those cartoons where they try to make you feel like better, like parents have gone through all these things and dealing with children and things that children go through. So I mean, it's nice to have on. I mean, and it doesn't get boring. It's kind of tongue in cheek and a little funny, and we really enjoy it. So Jennifer Lucas is looking forward to February the 3rd. It's going to be a good day. I hope Sabrina understands who all is coming and make sure that everybody reaches out to her so we make sure we have everybody accounted for, so we don't show up and it's, not too much. So, yeah, 10 new episodes. I've only got a chance to watch a few of them, and some of them were on while I wasn't able to pay attention. So, I'm kind of looking forward to go back and watching them because the last set they released had Granny Mobile in it. It's one of the best episodes ever. Even if you just watch Granny Mobile, it's such a good show. You won't be disappointed. That's in season 3, like episode 30 something. Because there's like a bunch of episodes. There is, I guess, a new episode. It's called Exercise, and I guess they edited the beginning of it. Disney Plus edited it because this is an Australian cartoon. It's Australians broadcasting company puts this show out, and I guess they've edited the opening of this episode where Bandit and Chili, the parents, are weighing themselves, and they're upset with what they weigh. So it's relevant to what we talk about. And Shannon and I were talking about this, and she's like, "Well, that's probably why they cut it because kids shouldn't be concerned about their own weight as a kid, and even as adults, we should be utilizing it as a tool, but not obsessing over it." And I think we do get so caught up on our weight. We get caught up on that number where we set a goal for ourselves. And if we reach that goal or we get under that goal, and then the scale goes up by 0.2% or it goes up by point 0.2, where I'm gaining weight. Simmer down, simmer down. I think we get too caught up in that, and we can't let ourselves be beholden to a number on a device that tells you how heavy you are, because it's only a minor piece of the puzzle. It only tells a piece of the story. It is a tool to look at and understand kind of where we are. But if you're battling and upset over 1 to 5 pounds on a regular basis of I'm up 5 pounds, oh, you're gonna live. I mean, unless you're a 15-pound person, going up by 5 pounds isn't that big of a deal. Like if you're a 160-pound person, a 200-pound person, a 300-pound person, while 5 pounds is significant for like a monthly weight loss, fluctuation by day is one of those things where I try to tell people I fasted for, I want to say it was 2 weeks or 7 days or something. I forget which one it was. Might have been a 2 week fast I did. And like the last day, I was down, 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 down. The last day I gained like on the scale was like 5 pounds up. And I hadn't eaten anything, just water and electrolytes. And I had gained like 5 pounds. So to show that you can not eat and gain weight should be one of the things that let you understand that even if you are eating and you say you have a meal, you have a cheat meal, and you have an extra 1,000 calories, and I know calories are what they are to to whoever you are and however you look at it, but it's kind of a way to kind of make my point. So if you want to look at like a pound of fat is 3,500 calories, okay, and you had say you had 3,500 calories on a cheat day. You had 3,500 calories on Tuesday. That was your cheat day. And the scale went up 5 pounds. You know, you didn't eat 5 pounds worth of food for your weight to go up 5 pounds. Because even if you ate 3,500 calories in a day, you're not going to gain a pound. You shouldn't, because you have to understand that the body is still running. The engine's always on. And we get so caught up in the numbers on the scale because it's a facet of what we're looking at that gives us data, and it's something that kind of gives us the illusion that we have control over what's kind of going on inside of our body outside of the food that we're eating, the water we're drinking, the exercises that we're doing. So I think we need to, like, it's always a good reminder that you're more than the number on the scale. The number on the scale is just another data point, but it's not the end all be all data point. How much you weigh today. I could weigh myself at the beginning of the day, the end of the day, the middle of the day, and have three different weights and not have eaten anything. So we get so frustrated, we get so discouraged, we allow the weight of the scale to derail us because we're putting in so much effort, and then we allow one data point to ruin it all. And it is kind of universal. We're all in that boat. It happens to all of us. I've been guilty of stepping on the scale and go, "Why am I up 2 pounds? Why am I up 5 pounds? Why? How could have I been doing this everything I'm supposed to do this week? I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do this month, and the scale is not doing what I wanted or expected it to do." And then we say, "Screw it," and do what we want instead of what we know we should do. And we can't allow, again, just the single data point that is how much we weigh to derail all of our progress because we're complex organisms. We're complex life forms. We're more than the sum of our mass. So, anyway, getting off my little soapbox, my little diatribe, but I always feel that it's one of those things that's so very important to talk about from time to time because we do allow ourselves to derail. We allow ourselves to just be fanatical about our body mass and how big we are versus how consistent we are, how good we feel. Because you could feel better than you felt in a decade, have more energy, have a better mood, clear skin, just everything coming up Millhouse, except you're up 0.2 pounds and you'll let it all go. How can we do that? We just have to lean on our community. That's why we're here, to help support each other. I'm up 0.2 pounds. I know that that's not something that's super important, but at this moment it's bothering me and I need just to talk through it. I don't know. That's just how I see it. I think it's just one of those things I think we lose track of. We get lost in the minutia. We get lost in, should or shouldn't we have pepper and garlic powder on carnivore? You know, is eating fish really carnivore? We get lost in the minutia. And I think we forget why we're here. We're here, as a support system for each other. Well, I mean, obviously, we're here to discuss and debate and learn from each other and look at different perspectives. But at the end of the day, we're here to make sure that we're all okay. We're all not alone. And we're not letting our friends be derailed by a number on the scale. So let's take a look here. Good morning, Taylor. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you very much. Yeah, we need to change the focus to kids and simply healthy choices. It was funny because when we were dropping the girl off to school on her first day, she looks at like the principal lady or whatever, the administrator, because we were not allowed to take her to her classroom. We were not allowed to go into the school and meet her teacher, even on the first day, which we are not fans of. But obviously, you have to be understanding in a school and you can't argue and all that stuff like you once probably were able to. But Yeah, we had to drop her off without meeting the teacher, drop her off without seeing her classroom, but she was like, "Pa's fasting." She just tell them that I was fasting, like it made any difference to them. But and then she's like, "Pa, are you still fasting?" I'm like, "No, I'm done." My goal is to be healthy things and not weigh myself all year. I think so that's one of those things. Like it's a good when not weighing yourself is a definitely a good goal, but I think that it's still something like once a month, something just to make, just to kind of see if you're trending down, trending up, because the trend is kind of what you want to look at, not the day to day, the trend. So, like if you start the year at 250, and then you January you're up 5 pounds, then February you're down 10 pounds, and then you're up 2 pounds, and you're down 5 more pounds. You're still trending downward. I still think that's still an important piece of the puzzle. But again, if you're like me, where I would look at that every day, and go, oh, point two, I'm up, I'm up, I'm up. I usually don't pay attention to the scale unless I'm fasting, and usually that's just because I'm recording something for content, and people need some sort of data point. And this time I was fasting, I didn't feel like doing blood glucose and blood ketones, so I just went with my daily weight. And Ken says, "Don't be a pinhead." 100%. And Aaron, so true. My coach has us weigh daily, but track the weight on a weekly average. Yeah, so that's the thing is, it's just one of those things you just got to understand that it's all a piece of data. And one day's data isn't going to ruin you or your progress. Even if for some reason you step on the scale and you gain 10 pounds from yesterday, you have to look at the reality and go, well, that's got to be water. I must have drank more water or some inflammation from something, but it's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. It's going to be okay. And Jen says your body can actually make water. That really surprised me when Dr. Barry told me that. We were discussing me always gaining 20 pounds in 4 days with no food but on an IV. Okay, yeah. I don't think I knew that either. See, that's the thing. That's an interesting piece of information. Robin says the scale could get so in my head, but anymore I only weigh once a week, and I give myself grace today to be the best me that I can be. And you are the best. You are the best. Give yourself a hug, warm, cozy hug. I told him you overslept. I told him that you were going to be late. That you were going to oversleep. Told him, and I told him to go, ha ha. I'm glad you're here, Cindy, dear. Matreya, thank you for being here. I hope you're doing well this morning. You added butter to your second cup of coffee. I forget how delicious that is. I just love coffee. Coffee and cream. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Our scale announces your weight out loud. I don't know. I mean, sometimes I gotta go and like put my glasses on. I'm like, oh, what is it? Okay. I do wait every day. I can focus on the trend. Got to reverse that trend. Yeah. If you can do that and focus on the trends and not the daily, then you're on your path to success. But I always worry that people doing it every day kind of will like, it's easier for that to start to creep in. Trends. It is funny. I would like I would want mine to sound like Gilbert Gottfried. That's what I want, you know. Um, yeah. Uh, Cindy says she usually weighs every day, doesn't bother me at all. Like for me, I just try to avoid it because and I mean I don't know. It's kind of one of those I should it bother me? No. Will it? Yes. And so I try to avoid that as much as I can just because I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. But yeah. And then I tend to I forget to weigh myself at specific times of the day and then I'm like, almost every day is different. Sam Kennison, Jennifer, come on, Sam Kennison. Oh, oh! I was listening to an episode of Rogan yesterday. He had Jim Norton on, and I'm a big fan of Jim Norton. And they were talking about Sam Kennison and like all that fun stuff. I just remember seeing like there was a lady that I worked with, and she said that she saw Kennison live and walked out. I'm like, how could you walk out on? He was a genius. But I mean, I guess if you didn't understand, what he was doing or whatever, because one of the funny things is if you're familiar with Andrew Dice Clay, from the '80s, like the Hickory Dickory Dock and all that stuff with like the child nursing rhymes, and he went kind of from like obscurity to ultra fame, touring hundreds of stadiums a year to going in and recording an album called "The Day That Laughter Died," and just went in and recorded a double album. It was produced by Rick Rubin, and it was the worst comedy album, but he did it on purpose. He went in and bombed for 2 albums worth on purpose because he thought it was funny. That's crazy. So you didn't get a lot of sleep this week, so it was just because we were on the ship? Was there a lot of, like, ocean movement and all that stuff? Yeah. So, I mean, was just because you weren't at home? You saw Sam Kinison live in Los Angeles? Is that who we're saying? I wanna know more. In my defense, I bought the talking scale because the standard scales would not handle heavy people. If it did not announce both of our weights on the same day, I would have not started keto when I did. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, that would have been so amazing to see him because he was a preacher and got hit by a car and then became a comedian. Like he hit his head and became a comedian. Kind of the same thing that happened with Roseanne. She was like this mathematician in school, got hit by a car and had to relearn math and became a comedian. So that's always the weird stuff. Be safe, John. Stay warm. Be safe. We'll see you next week. Okay, buddy? It's always a challenge for me. My mind races, especially with so much social stimulus. Yeah, you do have a lot of issues sleeping. So yeah. Brian bought his parents a scale years ago that if you lost weight, it clapped for you. Like, yay. I mean, I've got a scale that I can go and I can like open the app and it'll show me a trend. Um, but I don't use it enough for it to really make much of a difference. I guess so, but it's not one that I'm willing to risk. It sounds painful. Sounds real painful. I need to trim my mustache a little bit. It's getting a little long on one side. It's like long on this side and shorter on this side. So like you only see like this part of my mouth or whatever. Maybe it's not as bad as I think it is, but it does get a little thick and in the way. Mm, yeah. Uh, so what are you guys looking forward to this week? Anything fun coming up this week for you that you're looking forward to? Something you're dreading? We all have those things. We all have things that we're not looking forward to, things that we are looking forward to. I'm looking forward to spending the day with my girl tomorrow, just her and Paul. We'll have a good day. I'll make her some food. Um, we'll play dress up. We've been doing live streams. I got her a camera for Christmas that is it's a cheap digital camera, but it's made for kids. I think it's like a 20, it's a 4K, but it's like 720p or whatever. I don't know. It's it's kind of like a kid's GoPro type thing. And we don't even we haven't even charged it. She just sits at it and talks to it like it's on. She'll hit the buttons and then we'll do live streams. And we were showing off her dresses yesterday or the day before when she was over on Friday. We were showing off her dresses and we were talking to the camera about this, that, and the other. She wants to do her makeup for the camera. And there's all these things that I would love to be able to show everybody, but it's just not something that we're going to do. But I'll probably start recording some of it with her camera. I've got plenty of storage. We've got terabytes of storage. Uh, I've got two. I've got two 6 terabytes, and we've got an 8 terabyte hard drive as well. So try to capture some of that for her when she's older, so she can look at herself doing her. I do my makeup tutorials, and I got a keto channel. She's the most adorable thing ever. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with her tomorrow. Our live on Tuesday. Um, Tuesday night we do Toxic Tuesday. Thursday, I didn't get a chance to hang out with the Rock and Roll Rowdies this last Thursday because I said I had a funeral to go to. But this Thursday I should be back on with them. Looking forward to that because those are always some good guys to hang out with and talk with. They know so much. They were talking about Jeff Beck on Thursday and their personal stories and what they knew about and being around Jeff Beck. So if you're familiar, Jeff Beck passed away about a year ago. So they were just kind of talking about him and their memories of him. And so kind of sad I missed that being on that, but I can go back and rewatch the replay. But so just curious to see what you're looking forward to this week. Did you have any successes this week? Anything that you were disappointed in? There were people on the cruise wanting to join your group because of the beautiful community experience. Did you let them join or did you say, seats taken? Seats taken. Is that what you said, Jennifer? I bet you did. You were like, seats taken. Can't sit here. No, Forrest. Or did you let him in? The 18th, we start back easy PD. On the 18th, we start back with Easy Peasy Keto Support Group, missing the weekly meetings. I need to make it's on a Thursday. Those are Thursdays. I'll need to try maybe one day coming up there and joining in one of those. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'm sure that there's a standing invitation for me, but I'm not going to assume. Like I tried to get Jackie to go with us yesterday. And she goes, I don't want to invite myself. And I'm like, I texted you and asked you if you wanted to go. That's not inviting yourself. She's a goofball. And I miss her. Yeah, it's awesome. I have successfully added back in one extended fast a week. I really lost a lot of inflammation on my first one. Amazing. That's so cool. We would love to have you open to all. I need to be there. Probably when it gets a little warmer, I will probably try to make a trip up there. Maybe if it's a Thursday, I don't know. I gotta find out how far of a drive. So how far is it from Indy, give or take, like 4 or 5 hours? It'd be difficult for Shannon because it would be nice if I could get Shannon to come up there too. Um, because it's a Thursday. And she doesn't, because she doesn't typically work on Fridays. She likes to pick up Mondays. But if we were able to have a thing where we didn't have the munchkin, we might be able to head up there for a day or something like that and visit and see how that goes. But that would be something that we would have to look and really, really plan for. Just because trying to get us up there, and because the girl doesn't have school on Thursdays, but not wanting to join our trip, but saying they'd like family. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, it's open, open. Be more the merrier. Maitreya says, I invited myself last time, but it was a tiny bit awkward. Okay, here's the deal, Maitreya, and I'm going to level with you. If I'm there, then the invitation's open. You're not inviting yourself. I don't want to hear that. Like on the third, where there's a meetup that I'm not even hosting, and I'm like, come on down. I mean, I know it's on like the low carb stuff. My thing is we're all a community, we're all family. Hang out, do it. I mean, I'm gonna feel awkward no matter what happens. So I mean, the more the merrier. The more of you there that I know, the less awkward I'm gonna feel. So come on down. It's like the price is right. So we have an extra bedroom. You can stay over. Oh, it's 3 hours. That's not bad. We could drive there and back. Well, that was so sweet. I don't think mommy would go for that. We've been wanting to take her to Florida with us. Like we've been wanting to go visit Chandra's parents, and we're trying to get that set up to where we can go down there and visit them because the of Chandra's work schedule, she could work. She works Saturday, Sunday, so we could get up early. We would set it and get a flight out early on Monday morning, and have a flight back Friday afternoon, and be in Florida for the week and go visit her parents because they live down near the Keys. But in order to be able to take the girl with us, we would have to, do whatever, right? So mommy doesn't want us to take the girl with us, even though we have her every day, and she can't necessarily get the time off. And it's like, well, we need to get her down there to see them because the grandparents are getting older and older, and time is being less and less as life. But so it's that circle that always goes. Yes, anyone and everyone is welcome when we get together. That's the thing is like I know yesterday it wasn't like a necessarily a get together or whatever, but I mean, you could have been out there yesterday with us, Maitreya. I don't know if you had other stuff going on, but um, I just want to make sure people come out, people hang out. You know, there's no reason to feel awkward. I mean, outside of normal, I already feel awkward all the time. But what are you gonna do? Get mommy to join us for dinner. So she doesn't even want to. I mean, she's even weird about us, and you know what I mean. Like it should. I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. I don't know. It's so weird. Like we want. I mean, yeah, it's a struggle. And we love coffee. See, I'm awkward, and I will do the weirdest stuff here on camera, but I will never go back and rewatch this. So I will do my very best to do. That's how you know I'm going to tell the truth as much as I possibly can because I'm going to forget the weird stuff that I say on here, and I'm never going to go back and rewatch it. Most likely, Shander watches these sometimes. I'll walk out of my office and she's in her office doing her work, and she's listening to stuff, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" So yeah, so she'll go back and listen to this stuff sometimes. I know she listens to our live stream, which it does give us an extra play and all that stuff, extra hour or two or whatever on our watch time and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna look. Does Watch Autumn Keto have they set theirs up yet? Let's see. Yes, they have it set up now. Can I even edit this inside of this thing? We'll find out, right? Doing things on the fly. See what happens. I'm adding a redirect. Oh, they have I can't make the redirect. I need their settings changed. Won't let me redirect to their live. Oh well. I was gonna try to do that to where as soon as this live stream was over, you would stick around and it would just automatically pop you over to their live stream because a lot of the streamers that I watch and I'm interact with on outside of our space do that type of thing. They do these raids where they have bigger streams, like 5, 6, 700 people watching. That one will end and then go and dump everybody into another live and they can interact and listen and talk and all that stuff. So that's what I was trying to do, but it's not letting me do it. So I tried. But if you would at 9:30, be sure to go check Watch Autumn Keto and see Autumn and Richard so they can tell you about their week. I'm not done yet, but it was one of the things that I did want to see if we could do. You should try watching one, get to know the guy we know. He's weird. I usually cry when I watch myself. Like, I really. So I worked at an insurance job for a long time, and we were on the phone. So I talked to a lot of people on the phone, customer service, talking with some of the people in the worst times of their lives, um, trying to make sure that they got everything they needed out of their insurance claim. I was doing automobile total losses for a long time. So people were losing loved ones and these car accidents and such. And one of the things is we were supposed to go back and listen to our calls a couple times a month. And somehow I got out of doing that job for 12 years and having very high scores on my calls without ever listening to them because I hated the sound of my voice. For me to get into this gig where I'm editing my own video all the time and I have to sit and listen to myself for hours. So, and I hated the analytics part of it. I hated all that. And then I come into this where I have to focus on the analytics. I have to look at it. I have to see how videos are trending and all that stuff to see what kind of videos work, which ones don't, which ones you guys are responding to, which ones you aren't. As always, I want you guys to let me know what content you want to see. I know you show up for lives, but I'm going to make other content as well. So it's best if I make the stuff you want to see. So always let me know. Um, thank you, Robin, for being here. I appreciate you. I'm glad I got to see you in Cali yesterday. Be safe. Have a good time, and we'll see you soon. Okay. But Trey says anyway. Tonight I have a tasty recipe for coffee talk. Awesome, best companion and moderator Attila will appreciate good vibes. A multi-decade friend passed away last night. I'm so sorry to hear that. Yeah, like I said, my friend's spouse passed away last week. She had a battle with some illness for about 2 months, and she passed away. And my buddy, I'm just heartbroken for my buddy. Like it's just one of those things. Like it's just so hard, you know. And I hope that if you need anything, let me know. Um, it's difficult when old friends pass away. Um, yeah, it's just very difficult, and I'm very sorry. My deepest condolences. So, like I said, if you need anything, just let me know. Let any of us know. Um, yeah, and I will do my best to be in your chat for a little while tonight. Um, I never Sometimes I fall asleep and I don't even know what time I'm gonna wake up, but, I'm gonna do my best to be there for you, dear. Um, Stacy says 1 degree with a feel of -21 here right now. We're gonna go watch church online. So that's a good thing. Stay home, bundled up, stay warm, cozy. Yes, definitely a safe choice. I need a word for when friends that become family. Ohana. Ohana means family, and family never gets left behind. That lady at Disney tried to trick me. We were walking in to have Ohana breakfast at the Polynesian. She's like, "Do you know what Ohana means?" And I'm like, "Really, lady?" Chosen family, bonus family. Because I never had kids of my own, and so I have Chandra's kids. They're my kids. I say that I never had kids of my own because they are not my blood, but they're my kids. And then we have a bonus son. His name is Solomon. So we love him. Robin became a member. Lit that. Congratulations to you, Robin, for becoming a member to me. I'm kidding. Congratulations to me for you becoming a new member. I really appreciate you, dear. It means the world to me. It really does. And when we're done, I'll add your name to the list. But yeah, we all have our chosen family. I've got Jennifer Lucas as my chosen family. I've got Treya, Cindy. I would tell Cindy she's like a bonus mom to me because my own mom is gone. I have a lot of wonderful women that I can look up to and I can confide in, and I can basically. I've got Cindy. She's like a mom to me. She's my bonus mom. I've got Stacy and Jen and all these wonderful people in my life. Good morning. Good morning, Steph. Thank you for being here with us. I appreciate you very much. Um, it means the world to me because, you know, it's, like, I had, a mom that I could tell anything to. So, her being gone is difficult. Now I've got Cindy, and I was poking fun at Cindy yesterday, and, and I was telling her, like, you know, if I care about you, I'm going to poke fun and I'm going to be, because if I can't joke with you and have fun and be silly and goofy and all that stuff, then if I can't do those things with you, then we're not close. Like, we're not, that's just, we're not. And I mean, that's just the thing about me. Like, you know, if we can't poke fun and have fun and be jokey and goofy and crack jokes and all that stuff, then I don't know what to tell you. That's just one of the things that's a good way to know that I'm really close with you if I can joke and crack jokes with you and stuff, you know. You know. I mean, even if they're inappropriate jokes, because I'm highly inappropriate most of the time off camera. Mm. And I'll do what I can to support each and every one of you. Aaron says, I don't crack jokes or make fun of people I don't like. Right? If I don't care about you, I mean, then I'm just gonna be I'll be I'm a civil person, but like if I'm joking with you and making fun of you and being silly and goofy, it's because I care about you. And I know, like, and that's a generational thing too. Like, the younger generation, they don't necessarily understand that. There's a disconnect with the kids. I would joke with the boys and stuff, and why are you making fun of me? What do you mean, why? I don't know. Like, us, like when I was a kid, like elementary school, middle school, we would talk so much trash about each other. It was all we did. Talk about each other's moms. Like, that's just what we did. We just would joke, and who could come up with the funnier stuff? Who could say the funniest stuff? Because laughter is so important. So, yeah. Laughter is one of the most important things in the world. So, I mean, that's one thing I try to watch as much funny things as I can watch. Like we watch, I talk about Shannon and I, we watch Kill Tony, we watch comedy specials, because laughing is so important. My dad's quote was, "I'm an equal opportunity pest. If I'm pestering you, you know I care." Yeah, like if I'm bothering you, I'm texting you about stuff and I'm like being a weirdo, obvious, I care. You know what I mean? Like, and that, I mean, if I don't text you, I mean, it doesn't mean I don't care, but you know, maybe start a grassroots campaign to see if we can combine words like bless me's to catch on for chosen family. Um, we'll have to workshop that one. Look for us live on Friday the 26th at 6:30 with James. We'll share the link in the chat if anybody wants to pop in with us that night. Oh, that'll be fun. Or is that what we talked about? We talked about something yesterday. You have to remind me. Yeah. So I mean, just for me, like, gotta laugh, gotta have fun. I listen like all the way to and from Cincinnati. Listen to Rogan and him having comedians on and joking about stuff and just having fun. They even were talking about Bob and Tom. I think they thought one of them died. I don't. Bob and Tom are both still alive, but Donnie Baker passed away, unfortunately. Um, well, the guy who played the character of Donnie Baker, and a friend of mine was very close with him, and they went to school together, and so he's devastated by that. But um, yeah. Okay. All right. I gotta remember. I've slept since then, Cindy. Ah, good morning, Jasmine. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you very much. I pay attention. I don't necessarily retain. I pay attention, but it's the retention, not the attention, the retention. Okay, lot going on up here. It's kind of full. A lot of sap. This guy. I'll be there. I think there's gonna be a good turnout. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Smoky Bones, but I'm excited. Mm. Delaney? You were asking about Jen Delaney. Are you still here, Jen? Did you fall asleep? Did your cats lay and suffocate you? What's happening? Cindy is not sure. I'll be there. It's only like a 10-minute drive for me, so of course I'll be there. Jen is here. See, she's here. Her cats haven't suffocated her yet. Listening and doing her Sunday crossword. I used to love doing Sudoku. So the Sudoku puzzles or whatever, however you want to pronounce those. I had to stop because I started dreaming about them. And it was like I was having a you have ever those stress dreams where like usually they're like work related. Sometimes you're dreaming that you have like this task and you're trying to get the task done while you're sleeping. Like you kind of know you're dreaming, but again, like you're not, and like you're just over, like it seems like the whole night you're every time you'd wake up and roll over and you'd try to go back to sleep, and you still just keep focusing on that task as you're sleeping. Hate that. And that's how it was with the Sudoku. I love playing Sudoku, but like I don't like that. I don't like those weird fever dreams where like you're trying to get work done. Like this morning, I was dreaming that Chandra was having me look for something, and every time I would give her what she was looking for, it wasn't what she was looking for. It would change. Like I'm looking for this black shirt that doesn't. I'm looking for a black shirt or a black sweater or whatever, and I'd hand her a black. No, no, I'm asking for this, and I'm trying to hand her that, and it wasn't the right thing. And I did tell her that this morning as we got up. I was like, I was dreaming you were making me look for stuff that I would find, and it wasn't what you wanted. But yeah, yeah, I just got. I don't know. My brain just sucks it up, and like it can't let go. Like yeah, like I was just dreaming about it. I had to stop. I had to stop. I was playing it like on my lunch breaks and stuff at work, and I was like, I was really enjoying it, kind of keeping my mind busy. And then I just had to stop. I had to stop. It was just taking too much. I have to make a cake today for Brian to take into work. He has a gluten-free coworker, and they asked me to make a keto cake for her. Well, that's very sweet. Next week, I got to make a charcuterie board for Chandra or something, or a salad or something, because she's got a pitch in next week. They do a lot of pitch ins. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you what. Keto pitch in stuff, like if you're a keto person trying to pitch in for something for people who aren't keto, it's expensive and it's difficult. Like it being a pitch in when you're not keto, just sending off the full carb food, easiest thing you can just go pick up like a big box of cookies, donuts, and just throw it on the table. People are cool with it. Like the last pitch in I made, I still need to make a video once carnivore month is over, but I made a chicken, like an Asian chicken salad thing for her to take in, and everybody really liked it. I didn't get a chance to taste it, but I just made it, and it was like an Asian. I don't know. It was I don't know. It looked good. It was an Asian chicken salad. That's what it was. I struggled to learn calculus in my 30s. I have never learned calculus, and I would dream about it till I actually learned it in my dreams. I always wanted to learn nerd math, and I just never able to do it. Making Nisha and Kim Howerton's German chocolate cake. I don't know if I've ever seen that. I'd love to have Kim Howerton on my Saturday sit down. I'd like to have Nisha and Ken Berry and such. But I think some of those people are just too busy. I imagine I can probably get them on. I want to have Gary Taubes on. I want to have Nina Teicholz on. I want to have um, Professor Noakes. I have aspirations to have big guests on and talk to them because it makes me nervous and awkward. And I want to talk to them because it gives me a chance to, have a brush with greatness, people that I've looked up to for a long time. I need to have Richard Morris on again, have him come and talk with us, see what he's up to. Um, the chicken version of the carnivore mac and cheese is always a hit. I have a video of that. I have a video on that on my channel. I'm gonna try and make air fryer zucchini fries and cheese curds tonight. One of the things I did before I went to sleep last night is I was watching like the little short TikToky things on Instagram, and a guy was sitting at Culver's, the fast food restaurant, and they had this. It was called the curd burger or something like that, and it was like basically like it was like a giant cheese patty about like this big, and it was breaded and fried. Then they put it on the burger. So I sent a message to our son because he works there, and I'm like, "Do you guys still have the curd burger?" And he goes, "We got rid of it like a month ago, but it was really good." I was probably not gonna have one, but I just wanted to kind of like know if it existed, like because you see things like that and like they don't really exist in real life. I'm trying to come up with a way, and it's probably gonna come out more like a casserole. I mean, because it's kind of what it was anyway. But I miss the cheesy noodle, the tuna noodle cheesy casserole that my mom would make when I was a kid. She'd buy the box of whatever and mix it all together with the tuna and the cheese. and I missed that, but I don't necessarily want to do a noodle replacement. I might make like almost like a quiche, but with like lots with more cheese than you would ever want, and see how that turns out. Make it like a casserole full of tuna. Um, I don't know. I just got to play around with it a little bit. I just have that, and I want that flavor. I miss cheesy tuna noodle casserole. I mean, it's probably gonna miss my mom too, but like she'd make that, and we would eat on it for like days. So good. I just took the chickens out, some warmed up fish. They seem to really enjoy the weather. Silly ladies, but they make less eggs now when it's cold, right? Unless, I mean, they just with the wintertime they give you less eggs. They're like, you know what? I'm not putting in the work. It's too cold. We had uh we had salmon over this week because I went to we stopped by Fresh Time and they had salmon like 5.99 a pound, giant fillets, and I ate so much. I like stuffed myself full of salmon. It was amazing. Egg life wrap sliced into thin strips make a good noodle substitute. I'll have to give that a try and see how that works and mix it all together and bake it. See, I might, yeah, because I got those coupons to get some free egg life wraps. We'll see how that works out. What on earth is more cheese than you'd ever want? I don't know, but I saw something the other day. I was watching one of Steve's videos. He's making some cheesy crackers, and he added some nutritional yeast in with it to make the cheese pop. And I'm like, might work. He was making like these cheese crackers. It took like an hour and a half in the oven. Like that's a lot of work. That's a lot of baking time. Like you got to bake them like 40 minutes and then turn them around for 30 minutes and then like turn off the oven for another 30 minutes. That's a lot to make 20 crackers. Like that's the kind of thing is like I'm sure they're delicious, but like the effort that goes into making some of this stuff, I'm just too lazy for. Like I tried to make my own moon cheese one time. There's a video on the channel, like, but I cut the pieces too big. Even though I let them sit for like a week, I let them sit in my pantry for a week to get dry. And then I tried to bake them, but they just were too big. I needed to make them smaller. So lessons learned. Salmon is delicious. She's so Maitreya is looking forward to her. She's super looking forward to her chicken tiki nuggets. They're nice. They play well with others. Less eggs now, but that's okay as we water glassed a lot through the summer. That's so interesting. I know that it's weird that I know what that means. I've never done it, never tried them, but I know what it means. Thank you, Evelyn. We'll see you later. Be safe, and I'll see you soon. Okay, dear? Where did I get the free egg life wrap coupons? Jen had a bunch and gave them to me. She gave us two, and she gave some to others as well. So yeah, I don't know where she got them, but she had a whole pack of them or whatever. Perfect keto mac and cheese mix with extra cheese and tuna. That's a good idea. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, I could just mix it in dry or whatever, and then make it extra soupy, cheesy with lots and lots of tuna. I almost want to make that today, but I'm trying to do carnivore. I'm doing carnivore. I had some sauces at the barbecue place yesterday, so I'm not like batting 1,000 here. But I had some pickles. I had like 4 pickles, like 4 little pieces of sliced. I'm not batting 1,000, but I'm never a perfection person. So I was like, I like pickles. I like turtles. But thank you for that suggestion, Cindy. I really appreciate that. Last time I made chicken cheese dish, I used 5 pounds of chicken, 3 pounds of bacon, 5 pounds total of combined cheeses. So 13 pounds, and you ate that all by yourself? Sounds delicious. Yeah, I'm just gonna make easy faux Cheez Its. They're not as nice as those he made, but are very little. That's the thing is like, I mean, I know like the effort is not that. I mean, but like then you gotta like turn like I want to make big batches, and if it takes an hour and a half or more to make a batch, that's like to make like 5 batches is literally all day. And then I'm like, ugh. That's why, like, when I do make chaffles, I'll make like 15 chaffles or whatever comes out, 12 to 14 chaffles. And then I'll just put them in a Ziploc and put them in the fridge. And when I put the effort in, I mean, I want something for my effort that's going to last me. Because, like, if I make 20 crackers, literally it'll be gone when they come out. Gone. Chickens got Alaskan halibut. We canned after our trip there in 2021. Wow. So, Stacy, how many cans could a can of a can or could cans? Answer that. But you did okay leaving the bread behind. I did. I wanted to eat that piece of toast. It was looking at me all funny. It was like, delicious. And I bet it was delicious. See, that's the thing is like things like that, like little pieces of bread. Like you can be like, oh, it's not going to be as good as I remember. Lies. Bread's always as good as you remember. That's the problem with bread. Bread's always as good as you remember. Like Oreo cookies or like sweet things, those don't really phase me anymore. But bread is always as good as I remember. That's why it's so tough. Bread's like, man. And there's like this new recipe going around. It's like a quick, easy bread. It's like just like what maybe 2 ingredients or 3 ingredient bread, and you don't need you don't need any special skills. You just mix it up and then let it rise, and then like you just put it into like a thing and bake it, and it comes out like looks amazing. But I mean, I don't have any flour anyway to make it. But that's the problem. Bread is just too good, and I know that like I'm able to avoid it, and I'm able to. It's not as bothersome to me as it once was, like turning down bread or going down because there's things in the bread aisle that I have to buy sometimes or whatever. Because at our Walmart, like the frozen veggie aisle is the same as the bread aisle. So to get frozen vegetables, I still have to go down the bread aisle, and I also get little bread things too for the girl. I try to get her like the little keto bagel thins and stuff because I try to keep her as low carb as I can because she likes bread and we got to get her to eat as the common theme, right? But I can go down the bread aisle and I'm not like loading the cart up with, focaccia or whatever. But, bread is just one of those things that it's like it never tastes worse than you remember. Like all the other things, like you can have things go back in time and have that. Well, that wasn't as good as I remember. That wasn't as good as I hoped for, but bread never disappoints. That's the problem. I took a meat mallet to my keto brick house. The wall joints actually held together better than the slabs. Keto brick is a great glue. Gonna let Robert Sykes know that, like, hey, this is a good glue. You can probably build a house with it. I want to try and make egg bread, but yeah, too much work. That's like I see like Neely making all these things and they look fantastic. And I'm glad that she's contributing all these wonderful recipes where she's utilizing like the grated frozen butter and all that stuff. It looks fantastic. I'm just never going to do it. It's not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. But yeah, I'm the opposite. I don't care about the bread. It's the sweets for me. So like the sweets are. I mean, I could take the sweets aren't a thing. Like in the beginning, like looking at Oreos and missing cookies and candies and cakes and pies was a thing that did bother me. But the bread is what is the worst part. Bread is the hardest thing, to miss. Bread's the hardest thing for me to miss. And it's the silliest too. I mean, most time I don't miss it, but if it's sitting on a plate in front of me, because when I ordered the sausage and the brisket and they put a delicious piece of like thick toast, That's like probably got a little bit of butter on it, probably a little bit of garlic on it, and it looks amazing. That's what's hard for me. Like that's hard, but I was successful. Yeah, I feel blessed, and I don't miss it most of the time. I just don't. But there's just but as and like for me, it's like I don't necessarily miss it all the time, but it is something when it's right in front of me, I'm going to be like, ooh, yeah. But like I said, I don't necessarily miss it, but it's always one of those things that's as good as you remember. It just is. Nothing like, you can have I mean, I imagine like if, I was able to have like something that my great grandma cooked for me back when I was a kid, it would probably be better than I remember. But I think there's love involved in that and all that stuff. But like most things these days, that just don't really impress me. Um, but bread always delivers. Like some like if you've gone a long time without like a tortilla and you even get one of the keto tortillas and you roll something up in that, yeah. I mean, that's just the thing, man. That's just me. But I mean, I was always a savory person anyway. So unless it was ice cream with lots of stuff in it. Not as much as Chandra, but Hyro. What are you talking about? Mm, mm, mm. So what else is going on this week? We got a little while. I figure we'll talk maybe another 10 minutes. Then we'll get ready to go over and hang out with Autumn and Richard for a little while. If you all had not been there, I would have eaten all the bread. It looked so good, didn't it? I was sitting next to Cindy and I was like, nobody judge me if I eat this bread. It sat on my plate forever, and I'm just looking at it. Even when it got cold, I was like, I was like side eyeing it. But the Oreo looking cookies at Jungle Jim's. Oh, what the Catalina Crunch cookies? Those are okay. I like the peanut butter ones because they kind of have like that dosey dough type flavor. Because we are coming into Girl Scout cookie time right now. I'm seeing lots of that, and everybody's like, I've got cookies. I used to order like $50, $60 worth of cookies every year. I was in an office and there was always some mom, when I'm working with a team that had a kid in Girl Scouts. So there's always like the cookie thing going around. I'd order just like a ridiculous amount of cookies. Oh, I've been good. I haven't had Oreo. I haven't had a real Oreo in a long time. I haven't had any Girl Scout cookies in a long time. I'm glad we were there too. Not because of the bread, but just because that. But I mean, you know, my hard things like when I go to like one of those places like Texas Roadhouse or to Outback to not get the bloomin' onion. Like that's my problem. If I go, I'm getting one. So I don't go to those places. Like if they have a thing like a bloomin' onion or whatever, I like those so much that I don't care. I will get one. That's my problem. So I try not to go as often. So because that's why I mean the last time I went was probably a couple years ago, and we got a bloomin' onion or whatever that Texas Roadhouse calls theirs or whatever, Outback, and they're delicious. So that's why it's hard for me to go. Like the rolls aren't necessarily as hard to pass up, but that bloomin' onion, and I know it's like $10 now or whatever, but I thought you meant the restaurant in Ohio that's temporarily closed. I don't even know what we're talking about now. I'm confused. I get to go I get to go boxes with the meat and pack away what we don't eat. Needless to say, the chickens get it. Okay. For those of you going to Smoky Bones, if you sign up for email, there's some sort of discount. I haven't checked into it yet. Okay. Hyro? I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about. I have no idea what's going on. I'm lost on my own conversation. Good morning, Joe and Rachel. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed your time on the cruise. I haven't got a chance to check any of the content you've released for that, but I'm hoping that there's going to be some cruise stuff going on. The cookie that's not a restaurant in Ohio? Okay. I don't know what's going on. Mm, yeah. I don't know. Well, we've got. Oh, I told Jen to make sure she gave you guys a hug from me. I'm glad that that worked out. I told her hugs and pictures because my FOMO, the FOMO, missing out and all that stuff, and to make sure that pictures and all that stuff because that stuff makes my day. So pictures and hugs and all that fun stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm glad you guys had a good time. I may reach out eventually to Joe and see about setting up a Disney cruise for our granddaughter, but that might be a year away or so. But knowing that we've got someone that's good to go with the travel and all that stuff. Rachel's headed to church, and I'm headed to the lake for teaching someone to dive. Not looking forward to it. Air temp is 60, the water temperature is 67. Yeah, it's like negative temperatures here, Joe. I think it's like -1 here in Indianapolis. And I know like everyone's been throwing their temperatures around. So yeah, I would imagine that getting in the water is not going to be much fun. But be safe, and you guys have a good rest of your day. And thanks again for dropping in. It means a lot to me. Enjoy, enjoy. Thank you for being here, Maitreya. I hope to see you soon. I'll see you tonight on your live for a little while. I am looking forward to that. Yes. All right. We've got about 15 minutes until Autumn and Richard go live. So let's go ahead and get ready for that so we can all maybe go get some refills on our coffee and all that. And I will see you all over on the Watch Autumn Keto stream here in about 15, 20 minutes. Thank you all so very much for being here. It means the world to me. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for your memberships. I appreciate all of it. Um, Yeah, we were looking at maybe booking one in October this year, but it was just going to be too expensive too soon. So maybe we'll probably need to book it like a year or two in advance. But yeah, I figured that was going to be the way to do it. But be safe today, Joe. Enjoy. Try not to freeze to death in the water. Thanks, Steph. And I will see you guys Tuesday night for our live with Chandra. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye, everybody.